Vernon Bryant, staff photographer Dallas Cowboys defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence, 90, works out before a game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at it. Vernon Bryant, The Dallas Morning News. Bryan Broaddus, DallasCowboys.com writer and former NFL personnel man, joined the Shan and RJ show on 105.3 The Fan, KRLD-FM, recently to talk about the Cowboys' off-season thus far. Here are some of the highlights. On the disappointment of Cowboys off-season. Broaddus: I didn't see this myself, so I'll give my teammates some credit for this idea. The disappointment is that this is a team all about signing their own, then go sign tank DeMarcus Lawrence. Go get that done. Let's not let this thing drag out into July and make us have to spend the entire summer dealing with this. You're talking about the shoulder injury and he's going to have to get it fixed and all these questions, but if you're a team that is committed to it, that's okay. They've built the roster a certain way with the way of just drafting and signing their own. So the fact if you are a team that just wants to sign its own, well then go get this one done and then work from there. If there are any other deals that you need to do, or if you need to continue to sign your own with the money you have left over, that's fine. But don't tell us you're a team that's all about drafting and developing and then signing, and in fact when it comes to signing one of the players that we just talked about or fits all the criteria that we just talked about, that you just don't do it. Related, why the Cowboys' current approach to free agency is actually crucial to their team-building philosophy. I know it's a difficult deal to do, I mean it's not as easy as one might think. But you've also got it as, okay, I'm willing to give you $20 million, so it's probably going to be north of that if we're going to get this deal done. I just feel like it's unfortunate that we're now a team that does that. That does not really dip our toe into the free agency pool, but we like to sign our own, but we can't sign our own. I think that's the most disappointing thing. Change QBs every 4 years. Broaddus: this team should absolutely change quarterbacks every 4 years. They should never pay a quarterback is what they should do. This is the one team where the general manager's not going to get fired. I would try and take the opposite approach here. I would try and keep all my position players, skill players, and then try to change my quarterback. That's your most expensive thing every year. So if you want to tell me, hey, Broaddus, I would do this with the quarterback, I'm totally on board with you. They ought to be in on the Josh Rosen thing. They ought to be asking, what do you guys want for Josh Rosen? Then every 4 years flip your quarterback until maybe you find Tom Brady, Drew Brees, one of those type of guys that you might want to sign long-term and pay to. On Earl Thomas. Broaddus: if Baltimore was not on the deal, there's a likelihood that Earl Thomas would have been here. Dallas needed to survive one more day and they couldn't survive the one more day, and Baltimore came from where they didn't give them credit. They had a big day, they got Mark Ingram done as well. I did not see the Ravens as being the team. I was thinking more like the 2 years, $22 million kind of thing, trying to guarantee that. I was thinking this thing was going to get, with him not going anywhere, that it was going to mean the $10 minus $11 million a year. The Ravens really blew everybody out of the water, and good for them. They kept it very quiet and then were able to swoop in and do what they needed to do. On Jason Hatcher's comments about Tony Romo. Broaddus: I don't think he was wrong in his approach or the information. I think where he was wrong was the delivery. If you're going to go scorched earth, I get it. Maybe not a lot of media training there. I'm not asking him to hold back on his words, but the way it's presented I think is important to the message. I know Hatcher confronted me one time at Valley Ranch. He came into my office about a report that several of his teammates had told me he was a selfish player. He was a player that didn't want to play hurt, didn't want to put on bad film. These are all things that going into a contract year and all that, and I had teammates tell me that, and he came into my office and confronted me about it. There's ways of doing things. You talk things out or whatever you want to do. I applaud him for giving you the information. I laugh at him for the way he presented